Tomes and Tales RPG presents Intonatia's Mystery. Powered by Kids on Brooms.
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to Tomes and Tales RPG. We're all dressed like teachers because we're not playing D&D.
What do you mean?
Shocking, I know. There it is. That's the thumbnail right there. Thumbnail, clickbait. No, we're playing. This is going to be our first episode of Kids on Brooms, which is very in vein of a franchise that we won't name. It's meant to be like the fantasy, the school, and the wizardry, and all that sort of fun. And normally you'd play teenagers, but we're not playing teenagers. We're playing teachers, the faculty. We're going to be running Kids on Brooms for these next few episodes. New system for us, so bear in mind that as we just butcher our way through it. But for a bit of a refresher for you guys and for anyone miraculously who hasn't seen Kids on Brooms, very simple system, uses the complete polyhedral array except the D100, the dice which is fucking stupid and no one needs it anyway. We're well past the mark now, so I can't get in trouble for that. And you get a couple of stat bonuses based on like the grade that you pick and any little extras that you pick up along the way, which we've all got in our sheets there. But it's pretty straightforward. I'll ask you to make a roll, set a number, you roll the dice attributed to that. Whenever you do magic, you get to add a d4 anyway, just to add to the number. It's your magic die. It's just a thing that happens. Haha.
Sippity boppity boom.
And then if you roll the dice.
Where's my wand, Mom?
Mom. When you roll your die and you hit the highest value number on the die, it's called a lucky break, which means you get to roll again and add them both together.
Say less.
There you go.
Yeah, it is.
Burger! You need a fucking bar spoon. Context coming soon. I do.
Holy
I
God
want
in
one of
heaven.
their little the little whisk thingies. I want a little whisk.
You need a tiny
I want a
whisk.
wooden spoon. I'll beat these kids.
Disrespect me!
Yeah, it's
bring
just
in
the
the
wooden
fucking
spoon.
battle.
The wooden spoon transcends campaigns and transcends like
Truly it
systems.
does.
Oh, before I do that, I realised I haven't put in the little sound effects yet. But other than that, we're gonna be rolling through it, rolling with the punches as we go along. Should be pretty good. But either way, it's gonna be fun either way. So join us for this absolute jaunt on Tomes and Tales RPG. Ooh.
Yeah!
Tomes and Tales RPG presents Intonatia's Mystery. Powered by Kids on Brooms. Part 1. Class is in session.
Hey guys, Cody here. You already know who I am. That's stupid. Just a fair word of warning. This little mini arc that we have going on here has some pretty insane stuff. I kind of set the precedent that we were going to be like a horror themed kind of campaign regardless of like what system we play. So this one's very 70s inspired horror movie, slasher in the woods kind of bad stuff's happening. So there is allusions to child harm.
Children dying.
Skye's off there. Skye's off camera right now, but there is alluding to child death. That is the death of a young adult in within the first episode towards the end. We might even put a timestamp down the bottom just to tell you where that sequence happens. And as we continue on every episode, we'll probably put little stamps down the bottom just to let you guys know there's some pretty rough stuff happening.
Drug use, sex, violence.
MA 15 plus.
MA 15 plus. Yeah, look, it's we have a lot of fun playing these games, but this one was a bit we went kind of extra off the bat because of the way the system plays out and the way the story was written. So fair word of warning to you all. It's a bit full. There is some full-on stuff. There is some funny bits and drugs and sex and all that sort of shit. But there also is rampant child murder. So be prepared for that. Descriptions in the doobly-doo. Thanks for watching, and let's get into it. Okay. Welcome back. Oh, if only you heard the things that I heard in that small 30 seconds you were gone. Welcome back. Our adventure begins In England, roughly 4 hours outside of Kent, tucked away in the nice secluded woodlands that almost seem impossible to find if you don't know where to go. Rolling hills beyond many train lines and roads that lead us far beyond most civilized life. Like, as we say, if we're looking at a camera, it'd be like flying through the hills. Obviously, you know, England has many train lines that break through the many townships and city sectors and all that sort of stuff. You see large roaming pastures where there's just farms and all that sort of stuff. But as eventually it breaks through, we see a large, heavily wooded, like forested area just tucked away in betwixt some mountainy, kind of hilly ranges in this small countryside of outside of Kent in England. We see a large brick wall encompassing the entirety of this large and beautifully ornate structure, which seems to be half castle, half university in the way that it's designed. Now this is Lady Intonatia School, Arcane Academy for Witches and Wizards. So this incredible establishment was created in the late 1900s when the original benefactor, Lord Ignatius, built the first library on the premises for his granddaughter, Intonatia, who had a great aptitude for spellcraft. And as her studies expanded, more of the students of arcane arts came far and wide to join this school, and thus the school became what it is now. Lady Intonatia's as a school has kept up with shifting into the modern era because we now have on-site parking for students and teachers alike. But if tradition is more your speed, you can still request a carriage to come and collect you from the train station if you would like, and be chauffeured onto the school's grounds. The same goes for mobile phones and laptops. It's actually not uncommon anymore to see students and faculty using laptops and phones on site, as it becomes especially useful for note-taking in classes. So the mixture of the arcane and the modern world seems to blend together seamlessly in this school. We move through these giant iron gates with a bronze sign reading the school's name, a la very Charles Xavier School for the Gifted Youth. This long gravel driveway that's flanked by rows of trees that arch over like a fey gateway towards the school grounds. A multitude of cars can be seen already parked in a decent sized parking lot, which sits adjacent from the large structure of the school's wings, with light posts spread equidistantly around the edges of the school. You know, they've got that very British little post with the chain that just links around to let you know that, like, this is the nice bit of the garden you can't walk on, but you can walk on the rest of it once you surpass the circumference of the gate. All that fun stuff. But now this isn't the beginning of the school year. No. In fact, we actually start our adventure in October, not far off the holiday season for our students and teachers towards the end of the year. We enter through the main doors into this beautiful main hall, a la very old English universities, where the main hall is where they draw the attention for like the investors and the possible students. Portraits adorning the walls of the most prodigious students and teachers, all that fun stuff. And you'll see beyond the door, there's a large portrait of Lord Ignatius, you know, at the time of the school's founding, with his white hair and his long handlebar mustache and his monocle, and he's very suited up, very early 1900s British fashion, where they kind of all dressed like dukes and stuff back then. One would expect we'd be moving through classrooms to perhaps into like the desks, you know, into like weaving between the students, but no, we are going to the classrooms, but for a very different reason. So instead, we're gonna make our way through the school grounds and introduce our listeners and viewers to our teachers. So what I'm gonna do is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna assign everyone a number. Sweet. Yeah. Oh god, my paper's sticking together. I'm not using a laptop this time, believe it or not.
He's pulling his pages out.
He's pulling his pages out. He's pulling his cock out. So, we move through the halls of this beautiful school to the Crowley wing, aptly named after the infamous spellcaster Aleister Crowley himself. Fun fact, Aleister Crowley wasn't a devil-loving Satanist, as all the books in the modern media would have you believe. In fact, he was just a very good wizard with a penchant for dramatic flair, and thus he's been remembered a bit poorly in the eyes of the mortal realm. But the Crowley wing houses many trinkets and displays of taxidermy beasts and insects along the walls. You know, like there's displays where the butterflies are pinned and the spiders are pinned and all that sort of stuff. And the wallpaper goes from a soft burgundy to a dark grey. Like as it fades on, it almost seems like the two wings bleed together, like the paper was enchanted to meet in the middle at some point or another. And this dark oak wood that accents all the balustrades and the trim on the hallway, as we end on a door for one of the classrooms. Skye, would you like to describe what the door to your classroom looks like?
It is... You can see like through the hole where the handle's missing because that broke off a little while ago, and like it hasn't been logged yet with, you know, like the groundskeeper.
Groundskeeper Michelson, yeah, he's the guy.
It's singed in certain places. On the front of it, like when you're walking up to it, it's not as singed, but on the other side of it, it has definitely been used for target practice before.
Lovely. So we pass through the threshold. If we were looking at it from a camera's perspective, it goes and it passes through the empty hole. And where there's all the barrels and the guts of the door handle are there just unused because there's just no need for it anymore. And we see a room of roughly 30 or so teenagers, young adults. Excuse me. These students are upper grade, so normally between 16 and 18. But for the sake of the flair of continuing the episode, what do you think you'd be teaching your students today specifically? If anything at all.
Something new and exciting, something she's never done. She's teaching them pyromancy. That was sarcasm. It happens like several times a week. But she always opens up with the same joke. We're learning something new today, something never done before. Proceeds to pull out more pyromatics.
The classics.
Any like seats or like desks or benches have long since been moved to the side. It is just a nice like strip up the classroom where kids can just go ham. She's a very practical teacher.
Wow. Okay. So there's definitely a mixture of of attention spans amongst all the students. So obviously a lot of these are older students, so they've kind of been around and done the dance already for a long time. So for you, you've got this classroom and it's like a dueling strip. Like this is basically just a nice little fencing arena right up the middle where all the desks are crammed in. And you see like the way the desks are stacked is they're kind of zigzag, so students like have to get out, like are elbowing the stands behind them. But for safety reasons, the desks can't be in the middle because someone will die. Like it's like a child will immolate like if something goes wrong. So let's turn it over to you. Like, take the reins for a moment. How do you think this class is going? As far as you know, what is your teacher? How is it going? I put this to you.
I guess like from a third person perspective, she'd probably be pep talking maybe one of the students who can't get it as big and as bright as the others and is just probably really struggling, and she'd definitely be giving them a bit of a pep talk about it, you know, like gotta put your heart into it, just give it your all, it's not that hard, just light the flame, it's that easy, it's not like we've not been doing it all year.
Is there a target like hanging up in there somewhere where they can aim to shoot? Would you think? Like,
100%.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is, because this is fun to me. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm going to assign a die. Do you want this student to have a D4, a D6, or a D8 for magic? I'll let you pick the aptitude of this student.
Let's go D4.
D4. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, so remember, if you roll the highest value, it's a lucky break, which means it goes again. So this kid's just going to roll it and just see what happens, because this is a snap decision. You're trying to help this student out.
4.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Hey, we'll go again. Yeah. Oh, 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7. They wouldn't really have any bonuses. We'll say, yeah, okay, I think with a 7 as a student, that would make sense. So you're like trying to pep this student up, and she goes, and there's like little sparks, like a sparkler toy at the end, like. Psst. Psst. And it ends up being this like almost like a bolt of lightning, but the bolt of lightning is just flame. So it shoots out, and there's a couple of students like hit the dead like and they like duck under their desks and shit. But it ends up hitting this target and immolating this fucking target off the on the other end of the room. And there's a moment where the excitement takes over, and you're looking, and you're like, yes. Like if there was a camera, it'd be like the reflection of the fire in your eyes as you're like maniacally happy. And you turn and you see where like the tip of the kid's wand is like still on fire because it was very potent for what it was.
Well done.
Scary. That's very scary.
It's not really. I mean, once you get used to it, you probably never will. Yeah, look, it's hard. Fire is hard. It's always gonna be hard. But if you go in with the assumption that you're never going to be able to fully control it. It can be bribed, it can be bargained with, it can be contorted. But you just got to know how to speak to it. You got to know how to entice it in the way you want to. It's not a sure bet thing. It's not black and white. Pyromatics never will be. But as much as the curriculum hates it so, it's very useful to have. Outside of its raw, sheer power, its utility is unmatched. Heat, light, they're all very essential things when you're out there in the real world. So, get on top of it, or expect a lot more boo-boos. I can see those band-aids on your hands.
It's this like young blonde girl, very like Fleur Delacour, Harry Potter, like, you know, like prim blonde hair, blue top with like the little waistcoat kind of skirt thing going on, and very sheepishly puts her hands like the wand is on the desk, the smoke's still coming off the end. She's very politely puts her hands under the desk. But the curriculum continues as you go about this lesson, attempting to offer pointers. Defensive dueling, I believe, is the title of your class. Dueling and defense, yeah. For you, it's a very wishy-washy kind of class because it's one of those things where every student has different needs. So your understanding of how every student operates is very different. Towards the tail end of your class, as you're kind of perusing around, let me just see. I've got a statue for myself. I'm going to get you, because obviously there's no like perception checks and stuff, but in light of you being a teacher having to teach up to 30 students of different age brackets and different skills, I'm going to get you to make a brains check for me, and we're going to set it at a difficulty of a difficulty of 10, I think.
Oh god, okay.
What do you roll for? What die do you roll for that?
I roll a d10.
Oh, there you go. Do you have any? Do you add any bonuses or anything you like?
No. Oh, a 9.
No, nine's not substantial. You didn't fail it by 5 or more, so that's not too bad. In the hustle and bustle and like the like pyrotechnics going off, you're kind of doing that thing where you're like walking along the outer edge, and you know you've got your hands and you're like kind of walking around. Yes.
Technically, that was a failed roll, so shouldn't she also add an adversity token?
Yes. Technically, you get add an adversity token to that as well. You do start with 3, so if you wanted to spend 1, you could to get it to 10.
No, build them all up. Use them when he eventually throws something actually dangerous at us.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. Okay, so you got 4. I had the idea of like actually having like little things to hand out, but it just slipped my brain, and we'd have a lot.
That's okay, we got more sessions coming.
The juju of this table is very, very likely to fail. So with a 9, it wasn't a substantial fail. You were literally off by 1, so it's completely fine. So you get an adversity token. Thank you for reminding me. And but it's high enough that you still notice, and it's not that you can hear anything, but you spot it across the way over the heads of the students, like through the fire that's like crossing over your eyes down the target. You see this young man in the back. His name is Maxwell Crom, 18, young boy. He's lean. He's not built like a sports player, but he's definitely he could be shifty if he wanted to. You know what I mean? He's not built like a freight train, but he could fuck around. He's using a lesser form of like sparking enchantments, like a sparkler, and you find he's constantly whizzing them at one of the younger students. Her name's Paige, and basically while other students are casting their spells off, he's like shooting it under and like hitting her in the back of the legs, like not enough that it's hurting her, but it's definitely causing her some sort of distress. And immediately you're like on the complete adjacent side of the classroom. But he's just being an absolute like little shit.
Casting spitball.
Kind of, yeah. It's spitball but hot. Yeah. But that's what you
band.
That mate got a box of
Grinder Sparks for buddies.
the one under the success rate of the roll means that you weren't immediately there to stop it, but you're currently across the classroom. So what do you do in that instance?
I'm going to... She's going to be kind of standing off to the side, and she's already got, like, one wand out. That's been seen, and you see her kind of, like, tuck her hand, like, behind her jacket, and you see it sort of straighten up, and then you just see a quick flick of the wrist, and it goes back up and tucks, and as she flicks it, there's going to be, like, almost a little firecracker that goes... and it like shoots towards him. What under what stat would you like me to roll for that one?
Well, your primary, probably I'd say your highest stat, which would be
okay. Mine's fight.
Fight. Well, I'd say. Oh wait, because I believe charm is for you talking your way out of shit. Fight is Matt. Yeah, we'll go fight then.
Actually,
Let me check here.
Ooh, wait a minute. That's coming up to. And do I roll a d4 as well?
Roll a d4? No.
Okay, that's 14.
With a 14, I didn't really set a value on that because you're a teacher. We already know that whatever you're going to do to this kid's going to be bad. So, with a 14 though, 14 substantial, you flick this like little firecracker. Where were you aiming on this kid?
I'm going to aim it... What kind of uniform is he wearing at the moment?
It's very university, free clothes, all that sort of stuff. There's like a lot of the first year kids, like the younger year kids, will wear like the mixed uniform, but because it's kind of is treated as a high school and a uni, and it's like kind of mixes up a little bit, but it's kind of whatever they want really. So he's just in like a smart casual chinos, t-shirt.
Okay, it's a little firework cracker that goes off. It's going to land in between his feet on the floor, and when it does, it's going to explode and shoot up little like choo choo choo, and it's going to it's like little burning embers like he's doing to her, but it's a lot more condensed and there's a lot more of them. Yeah, for sure. So he instantly that whole corner of the classroom just turns into for lack of a better term, turns into a fucking firefight. Like a lot of like the little cronies that he's with end up like hitting the decks and like ducking under like the fucking desks and stuff. Some of these kids like come from like the hood of England, so like they're used to like crime and stabbings and stuff, so they all just hit the ground and fucking hide for dear life. He doesn't know what to do because all he can feel is this hot burning under his gooch, but he can't fucking see anything at this point in time. So he stumbles and lands ass first on the firecracker, and it like burns the shit out of him. But not like you're a teacher, you can't really like hurt them, but it definitely gives
be
like little tiny little like red welts that are just
gives him a fucking
his...
fright. Like there are some private schools that still do corporal punishment. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And he gets that young Paige ends up grabbing a lot of her stuff and ducking immediately behind you on the other side of the class, and she gives you like a I think she kind of clues on and just like kind of nods and ducks away and hides in the back corner. But this Maxwell, this Max kid, ends up getting up, and he's like rubbing his ass. He goes, "Fucking blimey, what was that for?"
Did he see me do it?
No, he doesn't know who did it.
Oh.
He just he got his ass burned out, so he's trying to figure out who did.
Miss Embers will walk up, and there'll be a very like slow and deliberate clip clop of the boots. both of her arms will be tucked behind her back, and she'll look down at him. I know that we had a bit of a free reign session, but there's no need to be mucking around with such spells. Where did you learn that? Insinuating that he was the one who had set off the firecracker spell.
I don't think there's. I think in that instance, I don't think he'd be too nervous. I think to like kind of. You definitely see he goes really like bright red in the face, partially maybe out of anger, maybe out of embarrassment because he doesn't even know where it come from. And he kind of like mumbles under his breath a little bit, but doesn't really give you a straightforward answer. I think it's that embarrassment of being caught out and know that you've been caught out, and you know the person who's grilling you had something to do with it. But if they're bigger than you, you can't do anything about it.
Perhaps next time we should stick close to the curriculum as we can. After all, when you leave this academy, are you going to be what? You're going to make fireworks for a living? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because we can discuss your career paths. Mr. And she's going to try and like remember Maxwell, that's right. Mr. Crom.
Yes.
Is that what you want to be? I'm sure your parents will be very pleased. Everyone! Mr. Crom is going to be a little party organizer when he leaves this fine establishment. He loves fireworks, don't you, Mr. Crom?
No, miss.
Well then, perhaps save the fireworks for another time.
Yes, miss. And then walks away to sit down sheepishly, and the class wraps up and continues and then wraps up, and then they all leave as we two leave the classroom and move on to our next teacher. I'm going to roll again.
What was your name?
Oh, it's Amos.
Amos Embers.
Funny enough, Seb.
There we go.
Now, being such a prestigious place of learning, some would think that perhaps we would remain in the school's main building, but no. Today we actually move outdoors into the woodlands surrounding Lady Intonatia's instead. So, passing through the many large trees into the clearing, inside this clearing there is, for all intents and purposes, a handmade demountable. Heavy stones and wooden supports, a small chimney, paddock joined into a small stable. As we see a class of lower grade students, between 9 years old to 15, gathering around some sort of spectacle. Seb, would you please like to describe your character for us and what we see perhaps in this outside classroom?
So say as we go past the doorway of his homemade thing before we hit the clearing, you see like this very regal carving. Professor Reggie Halfstag, but it's kind of crossed out and there's a bit of tape over it. It says Reggie.
Yes.
He's just like, nah, this is... and then you go to the classroom and you've got like 90% of the class that are just almost adoringly like watching him teach, not necessarily paying attention, but almost like half of them have crushes on him, both the girls and the boys.
Oh, they love him!
Imagine Russell Brand at his peak issues. A little bit flamboyant, his chest is showing a bit more that should, very skinny, bit wiry, wild fluff of hair, almost like a lion's mane. And he's just very charismatically showing off some huge, fluffy, like, it looks like it could be like a rhino, but it's just fur. Like, it's just this big, fluffy creature, and with this incredible excitement about the thing, and like what he's talking about, this animal, he absolutely loves and is admiring the creature, but with excitement and unnecessarily over the top vocabulary is explaining away this creature, and then sort of looks back and remembers that he's got a class in front of him. Homework. Oh shit. Write some stuff about this. I don't care. Questions?
Because you brought it up, do you have perhaps a name or a descriptor of what this beast is, this creature? Like, do you know what it is, or is it just a lump of fur? Like,
essentially, you couldn't even tell what's underneath there. It's just this big lump of fur. Like, it's some
Club Penguin. It's one of those little fluffy things from Club Penguin.
No, that's
It's
what the
giant.
homework is.
It's
It's to guess what is under the fur.
A keychain!
Can you discover what is under there?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think there's
Hairball!
there's
Essentially, it's just some big, mystical, chill kind of animal that the idea is I've been describing it with such passion and excitement, and then I go back to realizing, oh yeah, there's other people here.
There's children.
There's definitely a very clear divide in every line of the students about who's what. The kids at the very front are a lot of the younger ones that are definitely like hanging on every word they're writing in their little books. The ones in the middle of the line are definitely the older teenage boys and girls that are perhaps only really paying attention for other things, a la Indiana Jones in university kind of vibe. And then the back row of the students are the ones that even in your very relaxed state, you can tell where they just kind of don't give a shit. And they're just there because they have to be. Knowing full well that they're probably all going to pass anyway because even the teacher doesn't care about what's happening here. But you'll find one of the young students, like young girl, like maybe 9 or 10 years old, big bushy brown hair and a bright red dress, like a little fieldy sundress, puts her hand up, and she's like,
You.
what's the name of the thing?
That's for you to find out for your study. I expect all of you to figure out what this is called and and
Some of the oldest students in the middle like
That-
ducking and shit.
One of
To
them
me.
gets turned into a rabbit.
It's majestic though. No? And then sort of just goes back to like lovingly looking at the creature and almost forgetting the glass is there.
I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna get you to roll a brain roll for me.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's a D4.
Oh no.
Explain.
Ruh-oh.
3 plus 1, 4.
We did it.
I keep forgetting to set numerical values because I kind of just see where you guys are at. Very
I assume
wobbly.
that's a fail.
I'm gonna take an adversity token for sure. We definitely would have wanted probably maybe like between 6 and 8. You're looking at this mound of fur. Probably about, if you're standing up, how tall would you say Reggie is?
5'10", 5'11".
So he's probably up to about your chest neck area. Decent fucking lump of fur. And you're looking, and you can't be sure if you're looking at the head or the butt. You're not sure.
He's not a smart man. He's just very enamored by nature and the wild.
You don't even remember if this thing has a head or a butt. It's just kind of there.
He didn't even get hired. He just like emerged from the bushes one day, like, guys, look at this stuff.
I found this cool animal in the bush. And they're like, wow, you're hired. Have you got a blue card? Yeah, for sure. But
It's
I imagine
just
he has,
suddenly
like,
the
family
rodents
ties
are gone
that
in
go
the
to his
fucking
job.
in the university, and then they're like, "Why is there no more rats?" And it's just him in the garden, like,
I flute to them.
You get the
I see
vibe
it.
of like this kid was raised by maybe like he has family connections and stuff that got him the job, but
Yeah.
he's stoned most of the time. So
he coasted through university. No one knows how he succeeded, but
Yeah.
he's here.
Yeah.
I love that. So you're sitting there, and like it comes to like towards the end of the lesson where the kids can come up and kind of like just like lean on the fence and have a look at this thing doesn't hop and walk along. It just goes and just rolls along. Like you can't remember if it has legs or if it's just like an amorphous living ball of like moss and fur, like whatever it is. It's one of those things where you're like, man, this animal's cool. I have no fucking idea what it can do. It's very out there.
most of the lecture's been about the wonders of the magical creatures and how there's so many questions to them. It's sort of this pseudo-intellectual dribble trying to make it seem intelligent but saying nothing.
yeah.
Never let them know your next move.
Never let them know. You can't. These kids will eat you alive, man. You can't let them know anything.
There's also a bit of like pulling out like a pocket watch and being like, when the fuck's this over?
Fuck, 10 minutes. Fuck. As you're watching this this like moss furball weird creature, you find the younger student. One of the younger students is at the front. His name's Ash. He's about 10 years old. Bright brown hair on his hair, little coif of hair. freckles across his nose, and he's got like, you're outside and it's winter. It's like it's England, so it's cold. So he's got his jacket and his baggy jeans on, and little young semi-Ron Weasley looking motherfucker. And he's leaning up against the fence, and as you're kind of like just letting the kids like gallivant around, you can't help but notice this older student named Harley. Harley is 15, kind of blacky brown hair, very think the bastard Baratheon son in the first season of Game of Thrones. It's like got his little bowl cut and all that sort of stuff. Looks like that. He's kind of big, but he's an older kid. It's definitely going to grow into his size a lot more. And he's walking up, and you can see he's kind of like, he walks up, and I would say you could probably hear it. He leans out, and he kind of leans over the fence, like, this kid's like way shorter than him, this Ash kid, and he just goes, huh. I wonder if it eats people. Maybe it eats small kids. And this poor little kid just goes, maybe like his face goes white. And he goes, you don't know where the head and the body's. You might go up the back end. And he like hits this kid in the arm. Like really like kind of like hazing him, joshing him up a bit.
The fence they're leaning on, is it like a gate or a fence?
Though in my brain, right? Here's how I saw it. Hagrid's hut, and then a proper horse-rearing equestrian ring.
Just a pen.
Like a pen, yeah. Like they're kind of like, there's like 3 bars, and it's high steel, so like the small kids can lean under it, and the older kids can lean through it. But like a horse or a larger creature couldn't actually get through it.
I'd say I kind of come up alongside, I'm like, let's find out. And sort of give him the prompt over the fence, the older kid.
Wow. Okay. You find the Ash, the real young kid, gets semi-frightened but really excited, and this Harley is like, you can't be serious. What?
You brought up the question, I'm curious. Come on.
But
give him another
you're the teacher! And you like push him towards the gate. He's looking at you like, you're the teacher, it's your job to figure this shit out. But he's looking at the little kid. You can't really force him to go in there, so is there any other kind of thing that you'd want to do to try and level him on this?
I'm trying to make him feel like the knob right now.
Oh, there's definitely, I'm going to say...
So he's trying to scare the kid, now he's like, oh shit.
Can you make a charm roll for me?
I can. Now that I've got. A natural 1.
Oh no.
Plus a 5, so 6.
Okay, I was trying to aim towards like the 10, 11 mark, so take another adversity token for that. But on such a low roll for charm, that normal blasé kind of control you have over a room of people, especially like younger students, some of them look at you with like genuine like curiosity. They're like, oh wow, is he gonna like make this kid get in there? And some of them look at you like kind of afraid, like, oh, he's secretly like a fucking sociopath. Like he's like, it's definitely very not conducive to a teacher's behavior.
No,
but he gets very bashful and kind of just like kicks the dirt and walks off to his little crony fucking mates that he's got hanging around the edge there. And the end of the lesson begins to draw to a close. You start ushering the kids away from the paddock and all that sort of stuff.
And say he walks up to the younger kid as well. It's like, don't take shit from them. Just because they're bigger than you doesn't mean they're smarter.
No, but they're scary.
So is that thing.
Camera pans over. And so like kind of just rolls around, and the kid's like,
but it's harmless. Gives him a wink and walks away.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. So the camera pulls out. We now move. The camera pans back in through the building into the oak rot wing. Progressing through the halls, the classic architecture becomes far removed and changes into a more natural aesthetic. The support pillars are no longer finely carved wood, but are instead just full trees left to grow in the building. And but they become part of the infrastructure. Like you can see where there's like some sort of balustrade that passes through the top, like a load-bearing beam, where the tree roots have kind of just wrapped their limbs around it, and it's just become part of the architecture. The plastering of the walls just seems to perfectly meld and fit to the tree growth as if it's always been there. And we move towards a classroom office itself that's connected to a greenhouse. And we move in to see our magical plants and agricultural teaching room. Evalyn, if you would like to describe what this classroom office looks like and who we see teaching this lesson.
So in this class, you've got, not sure what age bracket of kids that we're kind of working with here, but you're lucky if you're standing at the back to be able to see the teacher over some of the taller kids.
Mostly upper grade students. So
Yep. No, he's small, and he's there, and he's covered in dirt, but he's standing specifically in the greenhouse during this part of teaching, and he's unpotted this very aggressive Venus flytrap that keeps trying to snap at the elder kids at the front. But he keeps explaining that just remember, you need to be able to harvest the roots from this area in order to best protect yourself from fire magic. This is vital when you're working with plants. Fire is dangerous. Yes, I know Amos's class is like just down the hall. Please.
Cuts to camera.
Someone go down the hall and get that fucking fly trap rude.
Please just remember, it won't hurt you. It looks like it wants to hurt you. Yes, I know it has teeth. It's okay. You'll be fine. Go on. And he holds it up closer to the...
God, this thing is so aggro. Like, think if the piranha plants from Mario were, like, on crack. Like, the teeth are all, like, not conducive to a more, like, some of them are jutting out at different angles. And you're like, look at it. And these kids just like, and it's like, it's like...
Guys, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's perfectly safe.
I'm telling you, it's all good.
But he's trying to encourage them to take these small, almost potato-like growths from the roots of this plant. But none of them want to fucking touch it.
It's terrifying.
To circle back a little bit, in the back end of the greenhouse, just inside the door to the classroom, there's like this little locked, like, tool shed looking thing, which you can kind of just see a UV light underneath. If any of the students go in there, there is trouble. It states on the door, do not open this door, this is not a tool shed.
Oh man, it's growing weed in here.
Reggie, I got you, bro. We can.
I'm putting it in my notes right now, growing weed.
Reggie, yeah, we're tired.
In the hallway, they just dap it
Wait,
up.
that's why he's so fire adverse. Could you imagine this room catches on fire? The whole school. Man, this fire. This fire is insane, brother.
It's like
Then you get towards the end of your class and Reggie's just waiting by the door like...
Coin purse on the hip.
Yeah.
So and what's your little dude's name?
Ernest Hickory.
Ernest Hickory. Love that.
Ernie, what the fuck?
Ernie.
Why do you have to pick something I cannot spell?
The dyslexic person? Nest.
Nest.
Nest. UGH. Jonathan Davis. The class is very. Your class specifically is very. This is what we're doing today. Very meticulous. You know, there's a lot of mathematics involved. There's a lot of proper handling of like enchanted plants involved. So yours is, even though you're very calm, it's very. Don't fuck this up because you can lose. There's definitely, absolutely been an iteration of this class maybe 3 or 4 years ago where a student absolutely lost a fucking finger to this fly trap. So you're very particular about it. And there was a point where you definitely had a conversation with the headmistress where she was like, maybe perhaps we could just duct tape the plant's mouth shut, like those alligators. And you're just like, no.
Yeah, how fucking dare you?
Let them learn. It's a very different board. This is a very, let's be clear. The board that directs all the other magical schools in the country have a fucking heyday at this school, right? They don't like it. But the class, thankfully, because the class is so meticulous and is dangerous if done incorrectly, not unlike Amos's class, a lot of the students don't dick around as much per se. Like we said, it's mostly upper grade students in this class, and most of the kids, thankfully, in your class are well behaved, because the way I view the classroom is it's very much that shape, like a hexagon kind of shape, and it's all glass walls except for the one wall that leads into like your office, which is adjacent to it, and every open edge on the edge of the building is filled with some sort of plant that's alive and can grab you and can and will do shit to you.
Yep.
Whether it's nice or it's not nice, no one knows. That's the fun.
Should have
paid
attention in class.
Exactly. So thankfully, when students enter your classroom, they're a bit more like they hold closer together and they behave because they don't want to get fucking eaten, right? You also see, so in this class, you see, his name's Roderick. Roderick Smithson is his name. He's 17, boy. This lad is built like a rugby player. He is tall, he is muscular, and he is just athletic as fuck. He is just built like a like absolute, like he could punt you out the window for sure. Like he's huge, and very absent-mindedly you find as the students are broken up, not like science classes here. They're broken up into small groups of like 3, and they're extracting the those conglomerate bits of like I can't remember
Root vegetable.
yeah
Potato.
yeah off the bottom of these man-eating Venus flytraps. But Roderick's kind of, he's notorious for kind of coattail sailing on the back of like the rest of his class because he's a bit of a sports jock, so he can kind of get away with like getting further on his scholarships and stuff. And he's very absent-mindedly, you know, he's flicking not dissimilar to what we saw in Amos's class, that spark charm. It's a very common one that a lot of the students use for pranks and, you know, ignition magic and all that sort of stuff. And he's throwing these charms at one of the these living plants you have in the corner. It's like, think the in this huge wrought iron cage. It's probably just bigger than Roderick is, but it's one of those plants that it cannot grow bigger than the environment that it's sealed in. But it is alive. So think the pink corpse flower that has that really bad smell when it blooms, but this one moves like it's alive, and it's got huge vine tendrils and tentacles that are like whipping out at him, and it can't get him from that distance because it's limited to its reach because of the cage that it's in. And you see he's just very and like he's having a bit too much fun with it at this point, thinking that you can't see him because you're so short. But you catch wind of this shithead kid doing some shit to your plants, the stuff that you take care of.
So, immediately, Ernest is just kind of at his equivalent of, like, the front desk.
Like a lectern.
Yeah, sort of thing. What did you say his name was? Roderick?
Roderick.
Yeah. Roderick? Quit slacking off. I'm sick of you riding everyone else's coattails. Get over here right now and stop hurting my plants.
There's a very ooh, like the classroom, like all kind of G up, and when he gets up, it's very Attack on Titan, like
Yeah.
ooh, like stands really tall over the rest of these kids, and he like and you know, track pants, t-shirt, like always wearing sporting gear. He's got like a fresh pair of Nikes on, like he just doesn't give a shit. And he kind of waltzes up and like looks down at you, like he stands a head and shoulders above you, like. Yes, sir.
You've done this before in my class. You know what happened last time? And he just slides a detention slip over.
Oh, there we go. Make a note of that.
He does not seem intimidated in the slightest by the size of this student. In fact, he couldn't give a shit. And he goes, you get one more of these, you lose your scholarship. forget. Just saying. And he's making sure he's nice and loud so the whole class can hear it. He's purposefully
Sure.
naming and shaming.
For sure. Let's see. So I want to say, I'm gonna let you choose between making a brains roll or a charm roll.
I'm going charm.
Okay, so this is gonna be. We're gonna set a difficulty of. Let's set a difficulty of 8.
6.
6. So take an adversity token, but not a grand failure. There's a. The way you're saying it to the rest of the table, the rest of the classroom, is definitely it's definitely landing, but I feel like the way he's perceiving it is you can tell that he starts getting real stiff in the back. I would say you definitely can tell that while you were doing it to trying to sway the class against him for being a bit of a dick, he's not having that reaction, and it's very different for you. And you can tell there's a really bad look of disdain in his eyes, towards you specifically, as he kind of just really aggressively picks up the detention slip and sulks off to his back to his desk and just sits his ass down.
Enjoy the rest of your class. Just big smiles. All A-okay. But he's also like, fuck, I pissed him off.
I feel like there's in the deepest recesses of your mind, your teacher brain, your plant lover brain, and your what's morally right and wrong brain are all throwing different things at me. Like, no, I did the right thing. I gave him a detention slip. Well, that's what we do. We're teachers. And the other one is just like, I can't believe you fucking burned my plant. And just out in the precipice of the outside of your mind, you just ever so faintly, just from the deepest pits of the stomach in your brain, you see and you quickly suppress it.
Yep. Back to fucking with plants. And he's cutting this bonsai tree, but even he's shaking now.
Leave the hands. Oh man, the bonsai tree begins to tremble in fear. This living bonsai tree. It's like green sweat comes out.
Bit of sap.
Yeah, a bit of sap, down the bottom. The class continues on. Good harvest. A lot of good results from the students all around. Good things all considered. As the students are beginning to file out, you're taking stock, you're congratulating the students that did exceptionally well. A lot of the kids, thankfully, in your class actually do quite well because of the severity. Not unlike Amos, they have it's a bit more of a severe response if something bad happens, so they do quite well. And as you're filing all your papers together and all this sort of good jazz, you can't help but notice that Roderick is hanging around for the last couple of minutes, last couple of seconds as everyone files out, and you see he's standing adjacent from that plant, again outside the swiping distance, and he's got his hands in his track pants, and he kind of looks to you, and there's a weird eye contact kind of moment, and there's just pure vitriol behind his eyes. This is a kid that got here purely on scholarship.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any real talent. He's a meathead. He got here because his mum and dad have a lot of money, and he paid his way in here, you know what I mean? He got here on athletic talent and rich parents. And he knows that, and you know that, and pretty much a lot of the other students and other teachers of the faculty know that. But the fact that he's now been openly threatened, you can tell there's a lot of disdain in his eyes. And as he begins to walk out, very, proper roared men, young thug on the streets of England, kind of slips his wand out, gives it a twirl, and a little bit of fire comes out the top, and he just gives you and walks out the door, and he leaves. And we move to our last teacher. To the Trinzet wing we go. The more classic architecture remains, but the silence that normally permeates the halls of a lot of these universities and schools is instead filled with the often not uncommon sound of clanging jars and washy liquids as we move to a door nestled in the middle of the hall. Monica, if you would like to describe the door leading into your classroom.
It basically looks like a bunch of different vibrant colours of paint has been splattered. Handprints, smears, all sorts of stuff. There's like glitter. The skin of a killer Bella is on that door. Just so many questionable like things are on that door. You kind of don't want to touch the handle because it also slightly glistens because the even the cleaner can't seem to get every single thing off that door.
Groundskeeper Michelson, for sure. There's been days where he's up at like 4 a.m. and you've walked up to your office at like 7 or 8 to get ready, and he's just broken in absolute sweat and just looked at you like.
Good thing she's got a bloody little flask of whiskey for him every morning.
I shouldn't be drinking this, but it tastes too good. And he puts it in his pocket. But we enter the classroom. What do you think your classroom looks like, being this the teacher of your?
The best way that I can explain it for visuals is quite similar to Hal's bathroom, where there's just a lot of different
I love
colours
that.
and like potions and shit everywhere. But there's also a lot of twine with like different herbs and stuff hanging from the ceiling and across the windows, and there's jars with all sorts of things in it. Some of them might be a little bit questionable, like eyes and fingers and all that sort of stuff. You know, you need, frog legs and frog eyes and tongues and shit like that, and maybe like serpent skin for some potions. So there's just a lot of everything all at once in one room, and it's very overwhelming if you have ADHD. Because this thing, even the cleaner is just like, I'll just clean the door.
Won't enter.
That's it. Will not enter the room.
Absolutely, I see that for sure. So he's been mentioned a few times, but groundskeeper Michelson that works around the school, he's like the janitor, the handyman, does it all, right? He's like pushing on his 70s, very thin, reedy old man, grey hair, but he has a fisherman's beanie and he wears like overalls, like denim overalls with the school logo on the back, and he's always willing to do handiwork around the school. And he'll come and he'll do anything in your offices, anything you guys need. Never sets foot in yours because he's always worried about what'll break.
Yep.
For sure, definitely. But we come into this classroom. What do you think would be the lesson for your students today? What do you think that you'd be trying to make and all this sort of stuff?
I think it'd probably, since you said it was about the arse end of the year, almost holiday sort of graduation time, it'd probably be like some sort of fun potion, like, if you add all this stuff together and you put it in someone's drink, their hair will turn blue. Sort of like something fun as like a prank. The teachers wonder why the kids are into pranks.
Nothing that causes physical harm.
His hair's turning blue.
Wow.
Yeah, something that isn't going to kill or make someone sick, but just like either something physical will change about their appearance or their voice or something like that. Like maybe someone's voice will go really high pitched and yeah.
So your entire class is just the twins candy shop?
Yes.
Beautiful.
My entire class is the twins candy shop.
Okay. So there is, believe it or not, there's a whole thing in here that I've got kind of stashed up about setting up potions and all that kind of jazz in. But the way they do it here is because potions are so risky, it's what's considered a snap decision.
Yep.
So the way the game works is you've got two things you can do, planned actions or snap decisions. Planned actions means you can roll the die or you can take half the value, regardless. Snap decision means you must roll. So because you are up the front and you are guiding the students on how to do this, we're actually gonna treat that as a snap decision roll. That's gonna be a. I think what's your highest stat? What have you got set for your highest stat? Is yours
Flight.
Flight, right? Okay, so it's definitely not going to be flight. I don't think. I think it would be. I'm going to allow you to pick. You can pick brains, or fight, because that's more like where your offensive magics and skills come in some circumstances.
Yeah.
This one will definitely be, snap decision. You can pick brains or fight. Roll and see what happens.
What am I aiming for?
We're going to set this as, because this is pretty harmless, we'll set this as a, let's go difficulty of 5.
I've got 1.
Go!
Take an adversity token for a failure.
My skin turns blue instead.
Yeah, so you're mixing this this potion in. Now a lot of the teachers always find this quite concerning. Even the other teachers of the faculty that you guys share the establishment with. Whenever, what's your character's name, by the way?
Evalyn Blackwood.
Evalyn Blackwood. Whenever Evalyn mixes potions, she doesn't use the traditional glass beakers and potion bottles. No, we use margarita shakers and nippers in this building. There it is. Yeah, for sure.
It's blue too.
It looks exactly like that. Now, unfortunately, as part of your job, you must always be the one to try these sort of potions first in front of the students. So, is there anything you say or do before you down this bottle of liquid in front of your class of students?
Bottoms up.
You knock this drink back, and it goes down. It goes down smooth. It's nice. It's very, very fruity, but very quick. A little bit of burn off the tongue, you know. And you're like, and there's one where you're like, you look at your hands and be like, see, nothing happened. And then some of the kids just start fucking losing it. But you're not anywhere in the classroom right now where you can see what's happening, so I put it to you. What happens in this moment as your class begins to lose their fucking minds?
What? Hey! Wash those out. We're starting again.
So your skin has gone into this it's very much like that parrot. It's very translucent blue. So when you hold your hand up to like the candle lights, you can kind of see through your skin a little bit. And you think that you're like, oh, it's not that bad. I can fix it. It'll take a while though. And instead, the curriculum takes a turn from how to undo aesthetic potions instead of, hey, let's turn your friend's hair blue into, let's help teacher fix her skin.
It just becomes, I need to try all of your potions. And whoever makes me turn back to normal, you pass.
Okay, so...
If the first person I try does it, the rest of you fail.
So the next 45 minutes of this class are going by, and it's a lot of you like checking potions under the light, all that sort of stuff. At one point you pick one up and it's definitely like just burning way too fucking hot. You're like, nope, and dip that down the drain. You finally get to one. It's from one of the younger you students actually, and it has this perfect, like, almost kind of milky consistency, which is, like, always, you know, good chasers for spicy alcohol, that sort of stuff, and you're like, that's got to be the one. And you down it, and it's a very slow process. Yeah. But ever so slightly, you start watching the blue, like, the translucent blue of your skin begins to solidify, and slowly from the tips of your fingers, it starts to move very slowly. But hopefully by dinner time with the rest of the teachers, you'll be fine. Maybe.
At least just my toes will be blue.
We'll see. We'll play that by ear. But the class continues on, and instead of making a potion about dyeing your hair, it becomes a potion about how to fix shit if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
And you see you can't help but notice a lot of the upper grade students in the back are a bit too nonchalant with like how they're mixing stuff. I don't know if anyone's seen the videos going around recently of that VR game where you're a wizard and you're making potions and the skull talks. Very much like yeah, throwing stuff into the pot. They're having a bit too much fun with it, right?
So are you putting two things at once?
I love that video. like, there's definitely fail-safes in place in the school, like magical enchantments, to try and negate the worst possible fucking things happening. But there's got to be some sort of care, right? You know, that's how it works. So you're watching these upper grade students, like, kind of just go, and they're picking stuff that's definitely not on the curriculum, but it's very hard for you to directly intervene at this moment because you're watching so many other fucking students, and it's like, it can be dangerous. But there's this one student called Riley Spencer. It's Raleigh, if anyone's asking. Riley. Almost like Riley. Riley is 18 years old, female girl. Very... is it Georgina from Mean Girls? Is that her name?
Yeah.
No, yeah, like blonde hair, dresses in the absolute heights of fashion. Yeah, like... Regina George, thank you. That's the one. Regina George.
Okay.
Slay.
She doesn't even go here. She's very, like, dressed to the heights of fashion, comes from money, all that sort of stuff. But you've gossiped about it with the other teachers. She's a bitch. She's definitely the worst of the lot. Like, she's just throwing whatever the fuck she feels like in it. But I'm gonna say, can you make a brains roll for me? We're gonna set this difficulty of... No, because you're good at it. So we'll set this... This will also be a difficulty of 5. I heard every word of that.
That's right, we can like whisper to the DM without moving.
Someone slap this. Okay. Take another adversity token. You're gonna stack that up. But it's in the height of the class. You can't determine what you're seeing that she's throwing into this cauldron while you're trying to watch all the other students. That's basically what it was. Yeah. You see it's happening, so you're aware that you might have to keep an eye on her, but you can't determine what it is.
Yeah, we are really shit teachers.
Like I said, bottom of the ladder, man. Grade school, bottom of the ladder. The lesson continues, funny enough, without incident up until the end. And you're moving, and all the students are working out. Your class is a mix between upper grade and lower grade because of like the electives kind of thing. So a lot of the students that take it, it's wishy-washy. And as you're leaving, you're helping some of the other students clean it. You know, some of the students, they love you. They think you're fun. So they always stay back to help you, like, wash out the beakers and the cauldrons and all that sort of stuff. You've got, like, a big iron trough where, like, it's always fun. The kids put gloves on, they tip it out, and it makes, like, little miniature, like, nuclear bomb clouds and stuff. Like, they love that shit. And as you're helping the kids clean up and the rest of the students are leaving, instantly a commotion starts. There's, like, 4 or 5 students are rushing, and they're on the ground, and you can see that one of the a younger girls, her name's Leslie, is she keels over and she's vomiting profusely, like she's spewing bile out of her mouth. And instantly one of the students is like, this, and like pulling the back of your waistcoat and like pointing, like this kid's freaking the fuck out, like trying to get your attention. What do you do?
Oh, I'll run over to her and basically just, you know, make sure that she gets everything out, because that'd be my character's first instinct, is if a student is throwing up in the class, get it the fuck out of your system right now. Yeah. And then go to the nurse's office.
Okay, so you roll.
There'll be some sort of like antidote to make it like make the student feel better.
So you roll Leslie over, and like you've done this before, like your out of school hours job has definitely seen you deal with some people, right? Yeah. So you lean her over and you instantly like fingers down the throat and you're helping her clear her airways as she just biles up this thing. I'm going to say instantly, like you realize that it's nothing immediately detrimental to her physical health. It's definitely something that's just forcing her to spew and she can't stop it. Yeah. And she's aware, and, you know, like she's crying, her face is red, but she can't really stop. Some of the other students, this is something that you've covered in class, especially when you probably shouldn't, but tell them about some of your escapades that happens over the holidays. They're going to make a roll. You know what? I'm going to have one of the students roll a D8, and we'll give them a +1 to this. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's an 8. It explodes. There you go. So 4. So that's going to be 12, 13. That's solid. Solid for a student. One of the students Thomas, he jumps into action, and you see he instantly starts pulling shit from the shelves while you're like cradling this girl and she's vomiting, and he puts together, and you watch it happen, you're like, yeah, that's 100%, that's correct, like, he's on it. And he, you help sit Leslie up and feed her this thing, and some of the colour comes back to her face, and she starts to feel a little bit better. It's definitely something that's going to be for Nurse Dot.
Yeah.
Dorothy, everyone calls her Dot.
Dottie.
Dottie, yeah. Nurse Dot's definitely going to have to take care of that to make sure she is okay. But a lot of the by this point, bar the 3 students and Thomas that stayed to help, the rest of the students have already piled out. They just the second the kerfuffle happened, they fucking deuces, right? Yeah. But as you're cleaning up the classroom, you walk through it and you see that the same color of like that blacky green bile that Leslie was vomiting at the desk where Raleigh was is a vial that has a few drops left over of that same color kind of green. And you're just like, motherfucker, as you clean up. And we go towards the later half of the day. At the end of the school day, the sun begins to set, and sure as it will rise again tomorrow, the day is done, and everyone begins moving back to their dorms. The halls are filled with the tapping and the stamps of feet as the kids go to meet their friends and discuss their school day for the few spare hours that they have before dinner, because dinner generally gets served at about anywhere between 7:30, and the day ends at about 3:30 in the afternoon. So there's a little bit of time where they get to do study time, or they can go to the library, they can just chill out in their student common rooms. We get to enter the teacher's common room. Hell yeah. In the faculty quarters. So it's this large table in the center of the room with multitude of armchairs around this huge fireplace, up to with like close to like 100 candles that float in the air, and they dim and brighten with the day, like they're magically enchanted to kind of do that. And plus, whenever you guys want, you can just point your wands at them and move them wherever you damn well please. You guys are free to decorate your room as you want. And the multitude of doors in there, which every teacher has their own private room to sleep in. So everyone's lives comfortably, thankfully, while they're here at Lady Intonatia's. Some of the other teachers meet you guys in there as we all converse. There's Miss Gialia, who is a... you guys would know as teachers. She's an ancient brass dragon that takes on the form of a human, and she teaches history. Like history and all that sort of stuff. Her human form is that of this beautiful, like dark-skinned woman with gorgeous braids adorned in jewels and gold rings, and she always seems to be wearing burgundy, seems to be her colour. Mr. Pebble Big Rock, he's a gnome man, teaches astronomy. He has thick spectacles. He can watch a basketball game from the parking lot. That's how thick they are. And he has this big red cheeks, a bulbous nose, and just a big Sam Elliott mustache. So when he speaks, the mustache flaps, but you can't see his lips.
He's a mini schnauzer.
Yeah, like a schnauzer, yeah. Mistress Ivana Sunder, she's a hellborn, or like a tiefling, who exclusively wears black and gold. Normally always seen in a fancy coat and boots of some sort, very razzmatazz. She teaches languages, so she's a language specialist. Mr. Anthony Delonzo, or Tony, as you guys get to call him, a close friend of yours, was the first American wizard to teach at Lady Intonatia's as part of a foreign exchange program. Sometimes he says some really out-of-pocket shit, but it's kind of part of his charm. But he's also very sweet, so he's got a kind of a soft spot with some of the other students there. Always seen with a very large golden cross dangling on his neck, still a devout Catholic, even after he found out that he could do magic. Everyone finds it very peculiar, but his faith will not be shaken. Very devout Catholic man. And then Mrs. Willow Waterwisp. Mrs. Willow Waterwisp is she was a sea siren who sought life on land after she married her husband, who was a sailor, who, funny enough, is also named Reggie. I had that written before you decided on a name. She transmutes herself during the daytime to appear human, but whenever you see her in the light, she always seems to have this sheen on her skin, like she's been freshly misted by like a plant waterer. Always, no matter where she is, even if it's in the scorching heat, she's always just slightly misted. And it's good. And she teaches music and the magical consignment of music. So, There's just a couple of the teachers there that you guys, if you ever have questions about magics and stuff, you can talk to them and ask them. But you're all gathering in the quarters. Would anyone have anything specific that they wanted to do before they kind of just sit down with the teachers at the table, having coffee and sitting by the fireplace? Anything you like? I turn it over to you guys. We've had our vignettes and our moments. What do we want to do? Ernest.
He's specifically keeping an eye out for Reggie, but he's also like just kind of trying his best to act cool. This is just a regular thing. All the teachers know what's going on. All of them do. But he likes to think that no one knows what's going on.
Oh, he thinks he's this big wig, like he's got it in the bag.
He's so sneaky.
I think Reggie comes in like well after everyone else, glazed over red eyes, straight over to a fridge and like gets out some snacks and like some can of soft drink and just looks over, sort of gives like an eye to Ivana.
Ivana. You know what? Make a charm roll for me. Make a charm roll.
Yeah, get it.
Time. That is a 6 + 5, an 11.
11. Okay, not terrible, but not good either. You're just like,
He's so high.
hey, what's happening? You go to lean on a chair and you realise you're about 30 centimeters off and you take a bit of a stumble. And she's got like a book. She's always reading like really heavy books with like languages on there that you've never fucking seen before. She goes and continues to read her book.
Still gives the wink with complete confidence and
Nothing can shake this man.
Honey.
Reggie. And he's so stiff as he walks over, and it's like this quick goes to grab his hand, puts a pouch in it, rolls up his hand, and like gives his hand back.
Good handshake.
Nice firm handshake. Nice firm
They're
handshake.
the least fucking subtle too.
It was like right in the middle where
It was in front of Amos, like she was standing right there.
Like it's like at the table. They could have done it anywhere, and so they do it in front of you while you're like trying to have a cup of tea. Like
in front of my salad.
It's the worst kept secret on campus.
Yeah.
I feel like there's definitely students that buy weed from Ernest, right?
Oh, fuck yeah. We don't-
Fucking hell.
We don't talk about those.
There's definitely students that smoke weed with Reggie.
Yes, we've created a nice little biome here at Lady Intonatia's. What about
Better here than on the streets.
True. What about Evalyn and Amos? What would they be doing?
I just wanted to ask, with the nature of the school, would it be like correct for Evalyn to fill out like an incident report?
I mean, sure, absolutely.
Because if that's the case, every fucking time this little comes into my
Redacted.
Yeah, you get your
The
one.
page
Like,
magically redacts itself.
yeah, as you're writing, it like blacks out. Automatically.
And you're just like going, cunt, and it just fucking...
Grammarly. But basically you should be sitting there
Whoa.
at one of these desks, table things, whatever. Like, even if it was just on the couch with a clipboard and a piece of like incident report paper, just filling it out, basically a drink beside her, some sort of like martini or whatever. Just like, this is the reason I drink. I'm 25, I shouldn't be doing this, you know, like, and
An enchanted martini glass that just slightly
It
begins
just-
to refill every
yeah.
time.
yeah, every
Oh,
time
they should
I
never have given me one of these.
yeah, every time she eats an olive, it reappears. But yeah, just basically filling out that report, stating the students' names, and just being like, I gotta file that to the headmaster again, I guess. Because it's happened probably more than once in her class.
There's definitely been a few where you've had to fill out for
Yeah.
sure. You've definitely had your way. I feel like Evalyn and Amos specifically have a lot of incident reports in their class specifically.
Yeah.
Just due to the nature of the classes, I think.
I feel like Reggie doesn't even know what that form is.
What was that?
I feel like Evelyn's filling out a lot of like incident reports about students, and I feel like a lot of students are filling out incident reports about Amos.
Well, I mean, what would Amos happen across in this moment? What would happen here?
I feel like she'd kind of be like standing. I kind of like envision the like couch that Evelyn's sitting on is kind of like there, and then there's the fireplace, and Amos is kind of like leaning against the wall having her tea, and then she watches like this like very obvious weed exchange happen, and she's just like, And
Do we
she-
clock that you notice us?
She does a very audible groan, like, ugh. Like, it's kind of like she's basically like saying in Irish, like, seriously.
There's definitely a moment where both of the lads look to you, and you get the sheen of the redness of Reggie's eyes, and you're like, again. But when Ernest's eyes hit the now appearing moonlight of the evening, like the low light evening, it gets that like reflective animal eyes in the pitch black fucking darkness that stares back at you, like. And he's like,
Amos is unperturbed.
unperturbed. Yeah, I don't think she would.
Yeah.
Light word, no reaction.
No.
Notice?
Uh,
Hey, Amos, got a light?
As she's like holding like her tea, it starts to bubble in the cup, and then then she like kind of like looks like around, and then she like leans forward, and she's like, and the like tip of her finger turns into a light, and she's like, huh? You're gonna light her up.
Looks around. How full is this room?
Well, currently the only teacher that's not here is Tony. So,
The way
Are there
you guys
anyone
I
in
feel
this
like I
room
know.
that are a narc?
Not to fellow teachers, like.
you know what? I think the only teacher that would probably give you a I feel like the only person that would probably give you a bit of shit would probably be Mrs. Waterwisp. She'd probably be the only one that'd be a bit, how you going? Gearliah has been alive for centuries, so I don't think she's fussed about the...
How many of these teachers have I choked up with?
Okay, let's be real. You've definitely gotten high with the Dragon Lady,
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Little star next to their names.
Mr. Pebble Big Rock has definitely had a bit of...
100%.
Yeah, he's hit a doobie with you on like teacher parent nights where it's been a bit fun, like party nights for the teachers. Ivana, I feel like you've offered it to her, especially like when you're trying to hit on her, and she like has nonchalantly gone, honey, I've had stuff that would kill you on a normal day, and she like saunters off. Tony in the instances where he's phoned to her, he goes, hey, I respect it, but respectfully, it's not for me. Thank you very much. But Mrs. Waterwisp just shoots you like a very wet look, like bits of hair like all across her head. She's just like,
I'd say at that moment I would look over to her and see if she's paying attention to me or not.
no, she's currently talking with Gearliah and Mr. Big Rock. So
Pulls out this very finely carved little wooden pipe.
Opening a window.
the halfling's leaf
Does like a little flamethrower, like a into the opening.
like heats it up way quicker, gets him very high.
As it like the smoke comes out. I guess it would kind of be like within the realm of kind of like her specialty in magic. As the smoke comes out, she'll just like very gently like blow, but it like it's like it makes it look like it's just gonna blow out, but then it very like cartoonily goes out the window.
For sure. I know that makes complete sense to me. That's what you do. Absolutely. And a lot of the other teachers, like, it just seems to be a thing that happens. Like, you know, like, there are definitely teachers that smoke. Like, even the headmistress has been seen to smoke on occasion. So, you know, smoking in a magic common room where it just gets rid of bad smells and shit, it's very not uncommon. But a teacher who specializes in fire is definitely going to be able to blow out some weed smoke.
I sort of watched that with like, you gotta teach me that one.
I didn't do it. It was her.
Yeah.
You're just gonna
Point
start,
in the right
But I
direction.
point to you like, that's handy. Like,
just gonna start like swishing her finger a little bit, and then like makes like a little like blob version of Mrs. Willow Waterwhip going in the smoke before it disappears out of the window.
So this little puppet show is going on, and you hear heavy footsteps just outside the door, and the door swings open, and nonchalantly in walks Tony DeLonzo, and he goes, "Hey, fuck off, what's going on?" And he walks in, shuts the door behind, and he catches the little jigging Mrs. Waterwisp at the end, and he goes, "Hey, that's pretty good." Takes his jacket off and goes to walk up, starts making himself a cup of coffee, and he goes up. He goes, have any of you he's like addressing the whole room at this point. He goes, have any of you had any of these kids being extra little shits these last couple of days? and he looks, and all he can see is like 90% of like the black redacted bars. He goes, oh god.
I imagine he like asks and the camera's on him and like underneath you just like see multiple hands holding out incident reports of all the fucking kids today.
And he goes, look, I get it. It's probably because we're close to the holidays and all that sort of stuff, and they want out, cabin fever and all that. You know, I once knew this guy, went hunting in the Appalachian Mountains. Oh boy, went cuckoo, shot his whole family dead. Crazy. But just today, I had the kids doing some... What?
Nothing. Just gonna glaze over that. Like it's casual.
Ernest looks almost offended at the comment about the guy going cuckoo in the mountains. He's like...
But he continues, he goes, just today, you know, I had the kids doing some wrestling, you know, some good old-fashioned ground and pound to keep their strength up in case they lose their tools. And he pulls out his wand and does a spin. His wand is real peculiar. It's this ornate, like, dark oak wood, but where the handle is, it's just solid gold brass knuckles. And he's just like, and spins on his hand, puts it back in a holster on his pocket. And he goes, there's this one upgrade kid, Shane Davidson, decides he's going to hip toss this lower grade kid. Straight tore his fucking arm clean out of the socket.
What?
Yeah, good old fashioned. Just the skin, you know, keeping that bitch together.
Was the student alright?
Oh, yeah. Nurse Dot got him back in shape, but she reckons it's going to be at least 3 days in the hospital before he's back in the spirit of things. You know what I mean?
Is he gonna get punished?
Oh, look, I've done up the report. It's waiting on my desk. I got to hand it in. But, you know, the problem is, corporal punishment's not what it used to be when we were kids, you know what I'm saying? You did it in my day. Oh, man, Sister Hyacinth at the Catholic school, man, my knuckles were red raw, I tell you what.
Ernie, I lean into Ernie. What's this form they're all talking about?
They're called incident reports. I prefer to fill out detention slips. It just feels a little nicer in my opinion.
Where do we get the forms?
Fuckers didn't leave my class first. Chase them down.
And you see, Tony's sitting there with his cup of coffee and he goes, look, all I'm saying is, one of these kids gets out of line, I'm gonna start fucking blasting.
I just imagine he like pulls out a gun, pulls the trigger, and the wand comes out, and then it casts the spell.
Quickly retcon that! He has a gun wand. No. But, yeah, this discussion's happening with, like, you know, everyone seemed to have an interaction, but, you know, it does tend to happen. End of the school year, you know, the kids are here for the school year. They go back for the holidays and they come back. So the concept of cabin fever is very real. You all remember when you went to study, and it gets like that. It gets a bit crazy. It definitely seems to fall in line with the generation where corporal punishment was okay to the new generation where it isn't, especially even in England, and you know, everyone from all different walks of life in different countries coming over. Still very different. I feel like there's a moment where Tony talks about being in the Catholic school and Amos being Irish background. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of that when you guys were kids. So it's like, ugh. But yeah, the discussion continues on. If there's anything else that our teachers would add to the conversation before we move to dinner.
Dinner.
Oh wait, what's your incident report for?
Rayleigh?
Raleigh.
Raleigh. You know Raleigh.
Yes.
Hate that little.
Certainly not a favourite.
Made one of my favourites throw up all over the floor.
Jesus.
Tony.
Well, someone has to.
I've forgotten his name, the little shithead which was trying to light the plane on fire.
Oh my god,
That
Roderick.
was Roderick.
Yeah,
Roderick.
that was my bad, because I'm all like, there's so many R's!
Welcome to Britain! Continue.
Sorry. My bad. Has Roderick been causing issues in your class?
Roderick Smithson.
Yeah.
Also another one on my watch list.
The
He's a little fire.
Reggie's just pissed himself laughing at you.
I don't. It's like semaphore, like.
YMCA.
sorry.
Content. Primo. I love you guys.
Look, he tried to set my cage vial flume on fire today.
He has a name for it. Of course he has a name for it.
The what?
Vial flume. Big red flower, smells like asphalt.
Smells like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing that reminds me of the bar that I don't
How do you
know.
remember all the names?
Yeah, won't lie. That's
Because
hard.
I smoke occasionally, not consistently.
You're definitely getting Alzheimer's. Like early onset.
What?
Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's happening already.
Oh my god, we cannot save him.
The Alzheimer's.
Who's this Al?
Why is he hyming?
Fuck. God, seeing the waveforms
His
of the
virginity's
laugh.
returning!
If I didn't get him to stop when he did, it would have set off the seasonal gases that the plants let off. And we all know what happens when half the greenhouse goes up. There's a lot of dead plants and bad smells.
Protect the greenhouse.
Exactly.
You mean protect the shed that's not the shed, don't touch.
Shut up.
Looks around.
At least I'm trying to be subtle.
Amos is doing like quick math in her head, and like even though like this has been happening for years, it's only just clicked for her now that is where.
That is where
It
it
is
happens.
peculiar, and
Yeah.
like she's like,
There's this continual like back and forth, like, yeah, no, like why is Reggie always taking all this like animal manure up there for like there's more interactions between the two than there should be.
There's
Equations.
plenty of practical exchange
Yeah.
going on.
I feel like there's been a few occasions where Evalyn's like basically crushed it up, made a like oil or a liquid out of it, added it to one of her drinks, and has just been like,
Oh, Reggie's come to you to make some things for him as well.
Wow. Yeah, this whole interaction, Tony's just there with a coffee cup, just like, man, you people are fucking crazy in the UK.
If we ever get fired, we can start our own lab. We've got the fire, we've got the mixer, we've got the
Tester?
sampler.
At this point, Reggie's laying back, moving the lights around.
Tony looks at you, he goes, look, if you ever want to get out, I know a guy, great business. We
Build a
got
muscle.
all I'm saying is, labs, lucrative business, crazy.
let's just slow down. Nobody's losing their job, and we're not starting a lab anytime soon.
Okay.
She's like doing eyes over to like fucking
Oh, water wisp.
what's water wisp? Like, shut the fuck up.
Suddenly, Reggie's giggling in the corner. You look up and all the lights are full of a dick on the roof.
She starts making the smoke start to like just like out of it.
she adds a line from the tip, and then they just go.
I'm surrounded by children. Eventually, the bell rings in the through the halls, and it's time to go to dinner. So, as is the way with most private schools of a non-magical nature, the dining hall has actually evolved in recent years to take on a more classical, mundane kind of design. To help streamline the process of serving and allow the students to kind of decide their own meal preferences a little bit more. The teachers all get to sit on a mezzanine floor that kind of sits over, and you guys look out over the top. Just bring that down a little bit because I can hear the difference there. There we go. So you guys get to kind of look out over the hall as the kids get to eat in this cafeteria. Where there's also a small stage towards the end where like a lot of announcements and sometimes like lunchtime performances, special performances, that sort of stuff happen. And the hall is alight with conversations, you know, like the students and teachers, and we rabble, we saw our teachers together dining. So the idea that I kind of have is like there's small like hexagonal square tables where like you can kind of bunch them together and everyone can sit together and you can have your own little spaces. So if you four are like kind of close to other teachers, you all can sit together instead, or you can kind of sit in groups of two, all that sort of stuff. I leave it entirely up to you. Right? Basically, you guys have a bit of free range to organise your own seating arrangements and keep your eyes out on all the little shitheads down below. Would there be anything, would you guys be doing anything in this time besides just eating your dinner, or would we just kind of be like a quick dinner so we can get to bed kind of deal?
I reckon we all sit together. I feel like we're kind of like the shithead teachers that they're kind of a bit more lax.
The shithead teachers, but the fun teachers,
Yeah,
according to the kids.
Yes. Amos would definitely be like sitting on the mezzanine level closest to the edge, and she would definitely be like kind of watching the kids like a hawk, because she's seen some shit happen today and she doesn't want a repeat of it in the dining hall.
For sure. So, during like dinner time in the dining hall, it's very the kids don't really care about anyone outside like their friend groups at this point. You know what I mean? Like this is where they get to eat and chat shit before they're all like forced to go to their rooms for the night, because they can stay up as late as they want, you know, but they can't be out roaming the halls. Yeah. Specifically. They shouldn't. So as you're watching, and you see a lot of the students mentioned, you see Harley, you see Riley, they all kind of hang out together. Like those older students that were causing a bit of grief for your students specifically, they all kind of hang out together in a group of about 10 of them. You know what I mean? There's other students there that I have not named because I'm lazy. But they all hang out together. You know what I mean? Very, very cliquey, classist kind of, you know, the scholarship kids, the rich kids, like they all fucking hang out together. And then obviously you see like a lot of the younger kids are like so their first or second year and they kind of all hang out together. You can see a very obvious divide in the groups where they kind of traverse across. But yeah, you're definitely like you've got your eyes trained in on these little fuckheads down there, and they're just being boisterous, loud little shitweeds, but nothing untoward at this current moment in time. Anything else?
Much like Amos, Ernest, however, struggles height-wise. So he's actually got his familiar just up on the little railing, and it's this little mouse that everyone would know as Snack. Snack. This is Snack.
As Snack sits up on the railing, there's like a little like, and the snake just starts coiling around the top railing, slowly going closer and closer towards Snack, and all Amos can hear in her head is a chanting going, Snack, Snack, Snack. And just at the last minute, as Amos is looking over the railing without even looking, she just and like squishes her familiar's telling to hear and the snake kind of just like backs off and just like slinks away.
God damn. So what's your snake's name?
I think I just ended up calling it Snack.
Snack?
Yeah, S-N-E-K, yes. Snake and Snack.
I love that.
Can I name? Do I have to name mine? Snossage.
Snossage, yes.
Snack,
Snack, and Snossage.
You see, Tony's there eating, and while he's eating his dinner, he hands little bits over his shoulder, and he's got this little, very New York, semi-mutated, fucking huge football-sized fucking rat on his shoulder. Very clean.
Rat was the last thing I was expecting. I thought you were going to see like a football-sized eagle.
No, it's a rat. It's clean. Like he's got very fluffy fur where he's been washed and he's clean, but he's very New York City, had a healthy diet of pizza kind of shit.
Is its name Louie?
It is Louie. It is exactly, yeah. Yeah, a rat named Louie.
I bet it jazz clicks down the elevator.
He sees you holding Snack, trying to eat Snack, and then he looks up at Louie and he goes, "Oh, it's okay, little boy. I won't let anything happen to you. Yeah, you're the only rat that I like." And he like starts eating his dinner. Anyone else bring their familiars to dinner?
No.
Oh, look, I brought mine for a practical purpose. I'm
What's-
just eating peacefully.
What's your little guy?
Black and tan dashhound,
Oh my god.
Oh.
a top hat, but his name's Oki.
Ockie. Occie.
Yeah.
Aggressively scribbles out snossage in my book.
Snossage would be the nickname you've given Oki.
yes, unscribble it.
What's your familiar? Reggie, while we're on the subject.
I have a hawk.
a hawk.
Oh, fuck me.
What's its name? Would we know it?
Hawk.
I love how original everyone's being
I
with
love
their. Well, you were genuinely original. Snack, Oki, Louie, and Hawk.
that. Louis.
Louie.
I literally just, instead of the Z's, it's C's. So instead of
Oh
the Z, it's
wow,
Oki.
that's
Yes.
cute.
Yeah.
That is cute.
God. Aussie transcends.
With the top hat.
Yeah, with the top hat.
A distinguished gentleman.
Look at this distinguished gentleman. Yes,
Yes.
look how he is sitting.
It's got a strap on it, so he can't take
Yeah,
it
like
off.
a little
but he
white
hates
strap.
it. He hates it. He tries getting it off all the time.
While,
No!
While you guys are eating and everyone else's familiars besides Reggie's are here, I think it's mainly because Hawk is a flying creature, so he sometimes has. There's definitely an interaction where the headmistress is like, "Look, I love him as much as the next person, but he's." And you look over the mess and he's just. And you're stealing students' food off their fucking plates, like, and she's like. Just outside, please. Hard cut back to dinner time, and you're sitting there like kind of annoyed while everyone else's things. And we see Oki doing heinous fucking barrel rolls, trying to get the hat off while he thinks you're not paying attention. Like,
Get up. Stop!
you yell stop, and like because he's like your familiar, like a magical enchantment. He's rolling like this, gets airborne up ass first, and just locks in the air. Like he's stuck.
Okay, I'm so sorry!
You let it go, and he just goes. And he like hits the fucking deck.
She's got a dog bed, like, next to her.
For sure.
And he just, like, sooks and then curls back up while she's like, just be good, and feeds him meat.
I
the
love
table.
that. I love that. So, the magical lights in the room darken and die down a bit, and there's a hush of excitement from a lot of the first years and the second years that are new. But the older kids are just like, ugh! Like they already know what's gonna happen. That they've grown bored of theatrics. From one of the adjacent halls, a flaming line. If anyone's seen any DC animated films, Darkseid, when he shoots his Omega beams, how they cut hard angles, that's what it looks like. It just goes like hard angles around the room, and with this insane velocity, gets to the edge where the stage is and becomes this giant flaming plume, like a flame tornado, and then explodes in a very X-Men Jubilee kind of like prismatic, fucking beautiful light. And there stands the beautiful yet aging form of Mrs. Wilhelmina Abbott, who is our headmistress of Lady Intonatia's.
Fucking spectacular.
Fuck, spectacular.
I told her that. That's a flat outright lie.
Yeah, she's an older woman, looks to be roughly like in her 70s, but she's still very pretty in the face. Having a lot of money can do that for you. She wears a purple gown inlaid with illusory projections of the stars and the cosmos, like that constantly. So when she turns, it almost looks like a telescope that shifts the night sky, like it moves with her. And her silver hair can be seen under a very classic big pointy hat.
What was her name?
Wilhelmina Abbott. Mrs. Wilhelmina Abbott. There is a Mr. Abbott. I believe if my memory serves me correctly, he's like a mechanic or something.
He's munching onions somewhere.
He's just a very, very mundane, likes working on cars.
Just a guy.
Just a true...
He's just a little guy.
He's just a bloke. He's just a good bloke. He just likes cars.
Just a small town boy.
We're raised inside the drum. Wow, don't DMCA us, please.
It's a cover. It's under fair use.
Fair use, yeah, all that good shit. Some of the first years like uproariously start to clap, and like the rest of the students, to be polite, I was like, Tony can't help himself, and he's just like, yeah, well, let's go, Mrs. A. he's like losing his fucking mind. He loves that shit. He's like, yeah, right on. And she like does a bit of a bow, you know, the cloak looking fucking fabulous, and she goes, good evening, students and faculty alike. I hope you're all finding your bellies full and your minds fuller as we draw close to the end of the semester, and we all get to rush home for the holidays, and you know, all the kids are fucking cheering, going off, of course. Now, I will keep this all as short as possible to not keep you all, but this is a very important message. The groundskeeper, Mr. Michelson, has passed me some information regarding a sighting on the outer edges of the woods outside the wall. Seems that a rather large beastie has made its temporary home in the forest. We're doing our best to track it, but he seems to be a slippery little devil. We are handling it, do not fret, but we ask that no student or faculty exit the premises without partners or a group. Safety is the top priority here. And she smiles very softly, very warm, very inviting, loving sort of character. And just because I don't want to leave on a sour note, we're going to keep the library open late tonight and do a movie night hosted by yours truly. I think I have some classics that some of the students will like. This will be fun, end of the year, all that sort of stuff. And some of the kids are like, yeah, woo! They love it. Stay up late, you know, it's the week, it's getting, you know, in the middle of school night, crazy. And she takes a bow, and then with a swirl, she explodes into like a cloud of purple butterflies, and they all flutter through, and they fly. You see as it flies up towards the men, so it's making its way towards you to obviously come speak to the teachers. You have a moment before she arrives if anyone wants to say anything, but you've got to, like, it's a 30-second fucking window before they
Grab some mint.
quickly rub your eyes like, oh fuck.
Wait.
You didn't give him a potion, did you?
Oh, fuck. She said so much shit.
Fuck. And the butterflies come and very almost like a 3D print, layer by layer. The butterflies form back together and create Mrs. Wilhelmina Abbott, or just Mrs. Abbott if you'd like, or Wilhelmina, whatever you want. And she, with a wave of her hand, one of the chairs slides across. You guys can all do that. They're magically enchanted to do so. And she sits down with you all at the table. She goes, well, good evening. How do we all fare this evening?
Good.
Reggie, darling, you must try harder. This simply will not do.
And like he's been eating his food, so there's like a little burp, a little bit of smoke comes out with it.
Look, I get it. I was young once. I had to cope. I didn't want to shoot students in the back of the head with a fireball. I get it. But just maybe do the eye drops and then don't smoke again afterwards. You understand? You're undoing the hard work.
Fuck. Yeah, right.
There we go.
Fair.
Oh no.
But that butterfly shit's fucking fabulous, and just goes to sort of start almost floating, like trying to like bump off, or like that, and like leans in and gets a bit, just like locks eyes and
red glazy eyes.
Yeah, like he's like, I'm done, but I'm gonna start.
Roll a charm for me. Roll a charm for me.
One fucking appropriate.
Wait. Where is it?
What have you got here? Ooh.
Look, it brings me to a 6, but I'm gonna say it's a fail.
Can we assist him? Kind
That's
of
what I
like
was trying
soft
to do.
wind blowing in his hair, like from underneath. The...
Well, I realized I asked for the roll, but I didn't set a number because I'm kind of loosey-goosey with it. But
Look, it's a natural one.
a natural one, yeah. I don't think that's definitely a snap. So you're gonna get a diversity token for sure. There's a little bit of blush behind her cheeks when she goes, "Darling, happily married, 40 years." And moves on to the rest of the group as you guys sit there and like keep
Lucky
shuffling
man.
food in. Like, look, he's quite happy. I don't know what his obsession is with those engines, but retired men and their toys, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, how about everyone else? How are we going? How close to the end of the year? Very fun.
Yeah, fantastic. All the children have been absolute shit.
Shits.
I don't know what I expected it wasn't that. Yes.
One of his flaws here is actually blunt.
Yes.
That's also one of Amos's.
Yes, I've had a couple of moments to read some of those incident reports that are piling in, and I do think it's as Mr. DeLonzo so graciously puts it, the cabin fever, I think, is setting in. Especially for the older students, you know, they're due to finish and they'll be gone. I think they just want, they want out. You know, all that fun stuff.
Yes, well, they're taking it out on the younger students, though, and I don't mean to critique any follow-up that's happening, but it kind of seems to keep happening. It seems to be getting worse as the year progresses. It kind of feels like appropriate consequences are befalling these students. I'm just concerned for the safety of those with less backbone.
Amos, I 110% agree with you. It's very true. Unfortunately, circumstances like this, if we were to shift consequences or change stuff, it becomes... I hate using the term, it becomes very political. You would understand, you've taught yourself for many years, every time something needs to be changed, a board of grumpy old men have to sit there and decide that they know better than everyone else. Believe me, I'm trying. Sometimes it's just a bit harder. That's all.
Of course.
Now, why do we have all of the students in one? Why are there not aged brackets?
Because some students show better aptitude, Reginald. They are more equipped for certain things, and sometimes students that are in the mid-grades take electives that require them to go to classes that are of a higher learning capability, but they have the aptitude for it. And some of the younger students... Yes, I know, but we are a very particular... In comparison to a lot of the non-magical schools, we have to be a bit more freeform, you know. Some students that are born to non-magical parents become magical, and then we have to send someone over there with a letter to show them what's good, as the students say.
Or
And
like
all
the
that.
public school equivalent.
Yeah, kind of. And he goes,
We send a fucking bus out, not now.
Yeah, like, ooh. the fucking General Lee horn. God damn it. Oh.
The exhaust. Bang, 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 bang.
But I assure you, we're working on it. We're trying. You are right. It is getting worse. We just have to do what we can.
What about, what did you say before about, creatures, out in the wilderness? I didn't quite catch that. I'm sorry.
Well, Mr. Groundskeeper Michelson said that he saw it slither into one of the tree trunks, you know, where they kind of, years of erosion, the tree roots are so firm that they can create burrows. Some snakes and spiders do it, but it seems to be, we're thinking somewhere in the lines of perhaps snake or lizard, scales of that sort. But a lot of the wards will generally keep creatures away from the school, but we don't know what its background is. But Mr. Michelson is very well equipped for those sorts of things. There's definitely a hard cut where there's Mr. Michelson is just standing out in the hallway, and he's like a decrepit old man, but he's got this like intensity behind the eyes where he's always scout. Think Mr. Finch, but way more approachable. Like, he's definitely really nice, but he's a hard motherfucker. And he's got some like scars up like his neck and his hands and shit. And everyone's like, ooh. But yeah, he goes, I have all the confidence in his abilities to round out or fend off this.
How big did you say it was?
A couple of meters at least, maybe in the 6 or 7, according to Mr. Michelson at least.
Okay, so not too big. All right.
Reggie's like racking his brain. Like, surely I can think of something here. Being my specialty.
You can make a brain check.
I was gonna say,
sure.
I don't think he would be doing well. That is a 2.
With a 2, yeah, nah. Well, with a 2, I'm not gonna treat that as like an adversity roll or anything. It's definitely just a like you quickly go through your brain and you don't know if it's like you've never read about it or if you're just too high to remember. But you're like, giant fucking scale thing. I'll think about that.
Big snack.
No one full. Big Snack. Yeah, like, I think there's an interaction where, like, Snack comes up on the table and, like, looks at you with, like, those, like, little nope rope eyes, like...
She'll just kind of, like, hold her hand out and, like, she's always got a big jacket on and she's kind of like...
Yeah. You're, like, kind of, and in your little telepathic link, he's like, oh, comfy. He, like, wraps up and he firmly becomes, like a bracer almost, like, and he sits real nice in that little, they sits very firmly in that pocket.
Whereabouts on the grounds was this?
Towards the south, where the woodlands become a bit more heavier. So, that's why we're a bit more, just concerned about the safety of the students that like to do early morning walks and runs, especially the students that are more sport orientated. We don't want them accidentally stumbling in, breaking an ankle, getting mauled by this creature. So we're just going to keep Mr. Michelson's setting up some wards and some traps to hopefully to not harm it, simply to capture it, and it should be fine. We'll have collectors come and grab it, figure out where it's from. But in the meantime, it seems to be just doing its own thing, so we should be A-okay.
Where would that be in relation to where I would keep more my...
You're definitely more towards... So your thing is inside the walls of the school.
Oh, so this is outside the walls of the school?
This is outside the walls, yeah. So groundskeeper Michelson, you guys would all know, he does laps inside the walls, outside the walls, every day in, day out, 7 days a week. That's his thing. It's what he does. He is a very good handyman. He's a very good groundskeeper, and he takes the protection of the school very seriously. But yeah, he caught it on the outside of the wall, so that's why they're confident that nothing's going to get into the school, because they have wards against that sort of stuff happening in the grounds. You know, again, magic is something that can be conductive, and you can channel it. But the problem is magic can also overpower safeguards. That's the whole point. But something like a giant beast attempting to like get over the wall, it's probably going to go and like hit like a sort of thing. But the fact that some students are freely allowed to walk outside the grounds to do runs or to go study and stuff, that's where the concern of safety comes in. You know what I mean? But she looks at everyone and she goes, well, unless anyone... you have any questions? I've got some movies to pick out and some popcorn to cook. So, mass transmutation seems to be the way on that one. I think I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'll see you all in the morning for breakfast. Au revoir. And she smiles and evaporates into butterflies again and swarm off. And you guys watch as you kind of look over the butterfly. Some of the butterflies swarm around this one kid who fully freaks the fuck out and eats shit on the top floor. It's like, ah! Ah! And like hits the deck as the butterflies. And the butterflies, because they're many creatures of the same body, it's almost like they're magnetized. So while this one butterfly is like stuck on this kid's and this kid's freaking out. Eventually, when the kid eats shit, it just goes and like flies back and joins the colony and reconnects. I knew that would get you of all people. I was like, this is gonna fuck Skye up.
I love misfortune being placed upon others.
What time was that?
Hell yeah! Write that down. That was good. Okay. So. The evening draws to a close, dinner's done, Mrs. Abbott runs the movie night in the library. It is a smashing success, all that good stuff. Smashing.
Sorry.
Look, I'm a sloth. Look how slow I am.
Look at what you've
This
done.
is the 86th time this year they've watched the wild fucking thornberries. These kids.
It's a great show.
Listen,
That's in character.
I
Reggie,
dressed up as
easily.
Niall Thornberry on Animal Crossing and I won.
Nigel Thornberry.
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yes, I did, and I won.
That's Evalyn talking, like Evalyn with a switch.
Yeah.
Nigel Thornberry.
How many martinis did you drink in the office?
Good question.
I feel like this is definitely a thing that's happening. You're in like your night clothes, you kind of like hole up on the couch and you're playing Animal Crossing on your Switch, and like Tony walks over and he goes, I can't tell you how many dudes I know back home that are exactly like that Tom Nook. Guy's a fucking crook. That's an extortion racket if I've ever seen one.
I just want a house, man. He got me living in a tent.
Look, all I'm saying is, if a guy like Tom Nook came around where I was from, dinner date with the fishes. And he walks up with a cup of tea. And like, a lot of the other teachers are reading, are just like, what the fuck is
Now, Evalyn just loves rearing him up and just letting him talk shit. Because this is like her 5th reset on Animal Crossing. She's had fucking mansions before this playthrough.
I feel like there's definitely a moment where you hear him trot off, and he trots back around, and then sits back down. And he goes, "So what do you want to do now?" You guys end up sharing the Switch on the fucking table. What about everybody else as we kind of round in for the evening?
So Ernest, after dinner, kind of just like snuck away a little bit. Because all the kids have got a chill night, he's gonna go make some extra money on the side.
Wow! Okay, we're definitely gonna start rolling some shit. Okay. What's Ernest's first goal? Where's he going? What's he want to do?
So, of course, this man's prepared. He's already got a couple of things bagged up. He's just got to go back to the greenhouse to pick them up. And then it's just a matter of kind of leaning in. That's why the comment about the wild thornberries, because he's sick of fucking watching this film. But it's the easiest place to distribute shit.
Wow.
Do you think this underlying theme would be a part of this game?
No, I didn't. I'm here for it.
He's pulling his bags out!
He's pulling his
distributing to minors!
He's distributing drugs to young adults!
I would also like to make a very, very clear statement that his motivation as a character is to save enough money to live off the grid. So,
It's a tiny home dream. Not even achievable by magic teachers.
He is doing everything in his power.
That's awesome. I love that. You know what? Do me a favor, and we're gonna set. What's your dice for charm?
Charms 12.
D12. Okay, so you're decently high. So we're gonna set this at. So this is gonna be a planned action for this roll. I'm gonna set the DC. I'm gonna set because I feel like you've got some stuff on there. I'm gonna set the DC at 11. As a planned action, you can take half the value if you can get to it and spend adversity tokens, or you can roll for it.
Okay, so I'm probably going to gun for those adversity tokens because I don't have as many bonuses as you think in Charm. They're elsewhere. That's a 12 though.
Oh, it explodes, so roll again.
Let's see. 15.
15. Nice. So when you walk in, right? It gives you succeed by 4 or more, so it's not a grandiose bang.
Comes
You
with
walk
a
in.
Swagger.
Yeah, you walk in, and Ernest of a night time when he's not teaching is just like, he is that cool hipster student that like everyone just vibes with, even
That
though he's a
mad
teacher.
cottage-core green-eyed ginger.
Yeah, is that what's written on there?
The Prince of Humble.
The Prince of Humble.
You waltz
That's
into
poetic.
you waltz into the library, and the doors are silent, right? So it's just like from the air, and you see it's a free floating projector it's smoke that's become solid, and from this magical little iron box, it looks like one of those old cameras from like the fucking 1500s. You know, those ones that had the phosphorus, like I don't know what fucking year camera was invented. Shut the fuck up. And but it's like, and it's like shooting out like the projection. What we say? The Wild Thornberries movie. So it's the
rolling with it.
The Wild Thornberries movie is absolutely playing, and you see Mrs. Abbott is like enraptured in this film. She loves, like, you guys already know, like, she loves her job. She loves doing what she does. She loves, and she's one of those headmistresses that really like vibes with the kids, and she tries her hardest to do so. So whenever she gets an opportunity to do this sort of shit, she's fucking here for it. But you did really well on the vibe check for the job. So, and it's just your little stature. You're just a little guy.
I'm just with another one of the fucking students.
I'm gonna say, when you sneak in to deal drugs to fucking young adult students, you know, only students that are 18 and above.
Yes, definitely.
You know.
As a teacher, I have this information and I can verify it. Doesn't matter.
I think and the charm is probably not the role I would have used, but I use it in the way that you're able to carry yourself. But when you get into the library, something deep in the back of your mind takes over, and your arms and legs just get that little bit longer, and your arms stretch a little bit, and you skulk really low on the ground. And when you tap some of the students on the back of their arms and they look over, they can't see you, all they get's like that bright anti-dark reflection of your eyes, and they're like, "Oh, what's up, Mr. E? What's up?" And they like dap you up, give you a bit of coin, and they've got some fresh little baggies in there, and it ends up being, I think you pull about like maybe $400, like fucking marijuana's expensive. Marijuana's expensive now. It's illegal.
That would have been one transaction, brother.
I don't know.
This
Neither do I.
The bags are.
Neither do I.
This isn't just any marijuana either. This is magical shit.
This is magic marijuana.
Strawberry field.
It's not just weed either. It's like some of that other weird living plants in there.
Yeah.
You've probably got all kinds of
We don't-
smokable shit.
That's why it's specifically locked in its own room. No one knows what that plant
Yeah.
actually looks
Yeah,
like.
this isn't marijuana we're talking about for the internet. This is something else, magical.
Yes.
This is Magic Kush 3000. We call it the Vaporwave 500.
I just imagine it's just like a normal ass tree in the cupboard area, but it just gives him a high because it's just like it's normal ass leaves, but it's toxic to smoke.
It's definitely giving him brain rot.
Yeah.
It's been watered in the blood of like ancient purple dragons and shit.
Our average scoring's been going down for these past couple of years in the academy.
This is why all the kids are acting up.
Yeah, one of the kids in the background's just like fucking like drool out of mouth, high as fuck. Like,
Like, drool's like bubbling.
think first episode of Rick and Morty when Rick does that plain face and he's like, and the bit of spit comes out. Absolutely. Yeah, but you make a bit of coin, and nonchalantly as ever, you go to sneak out, and as you like stand up, like your body repositions itself and your limbs go back to normal, and just as you go to walk out the door, you turn and you see Mrs. Abbott there, and she looks you up and down and just goes, and mouths, "I'll take one."
He salutes and holds it up like.
and you wander off and go. You drop by Wilhelmina's office and leave it in a nice little depository where you've had to drop some stuff off before, and you
It's
continue
just
on.
in a pigeonhole. In an envelope.
It's
in a
literally just a
pigeonhole.
stone carving of a pigeon. What about the rest of our?
Sorry.
Jesus.
Don't know.
What about the rest of our teachers? What are they doing? Our other two,
I feel like
besides playing Switch.
Evalyn would probably be like, "Oh shit, alarm's gone off on her phone," and is like, basically just left poor old mate on the couch, Switch running away with her, and she starts getting ready for her second job.
Oh, she's on the night shift.
She's on the night shift.
Wow! So you have to duck into the bathroom and you put on. You've thankfully the one you've got right now is you're at a bit more, we call them like executive bars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you being a master potions teacher and a witch or a wizard or whatever title you'd like to give yourself, you can simply teleport yourself on the spot and just rock up, you know what I mean? And I definitely think that a lot of we're in a world where the modern and the magic kind of meet in the middle. Think very Wednesday Addams, how people kind of know it exists, they just don't acknowledge it, and they pretend it's not there. So you have to wear like all black and like thin waistcoat kind of jacket and like slacks and some nice boots, and you walk out, and while Tony's kind of sitting there and you see he's just encapsulated by the fire, like he's just still drinking another coffee. And he walks and sees it, and we would say this is, not the first time you've had to go out on shift, but, you're very finely dressed and your hair's up, and you walk past him and he goes, "Hey, yo, look at Evalyn! God damn, trying to get some fucking sleep, will you? Jesus." He, drinks his coffee and puts his feet up on the couch and, just relaxes and sits down. And, what's your teleport look like as you just dip out of the fucking common room? You're the only teacher that can probably do that because you're technically employed by another estate. So other teachers can use high magic concentrate to teleport anywhere in the school grounds. You're the only teacher that can teleport hours away to another place.
I would probably say her, the way, when she teleports. So I didn't fully go into a description of what Evalyn looks like. So her hair is pretty much always in a ponytail, unruly curls, she's got some ringlets around her face, but it's always neatly messy. is the best way I can describe it, but it's like a dark, deep brown, almost black, and her skin is like white pale, like almost sickly pale, but still human looking. And her eyes, there's always like some sort of like wild look to them, but they're just like, to someone who glances, like just a first glance is like just a blue colour, but if you look at them deeper, it's like, oh, the more I look at this, the more it's like tripping me out a little bit. But I feel like when she teleports, it would kind of be like the bubbles and the smoke of a cauldron.
Hell yeah.
But instead of like it being green, it's like black, like gooey.
Like tar?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's cool as hell. You walk out into the middle of the corridor and you make sure there's like no chairs around or anything, and as you like and you get ready to teleport, Tony goes, I'll have a cup ready for when you get back. Forget about it. And the stone floor begins to bubble and almost like liquid, and you just give a nod and you throw yourself backwards, and it's a very noob Cybot Mortal Kombat. You just go, and for you fall backwards, and instantly you're launched upwards from a flat position on the ground as you walk straight into the like signing area of this executive bar in the middle of fucking London in the East End somewhere, where it's busy as hell, and your manager comes in and goes, come on, fucking get out there, let's make some money.
All right.
And you go about your evening slanging drinks. What about our other two?
I would say I would walk up to, depending on who's sort of like other teachers in the area, but was it Miss Galileo?
Gearliar. Yeah.
Gearliar. All right, that right. Gearliar.
Gosh.
I got a bag of Hickory Special and I found some mushrooms going in the Fluff Punk Mile. Like
The fucking Hickory Special.
The Hickory Special.
and I found some mushrooms growing in the Fluff Punk's dung the other day. You want to give it a go?
Looks at the clock, and her eyes flare into like the draconic form with the slit, and she goes, "We'll go in my room." And you guys usher in, and for all intents and purposes, on the outside the camera's there, and you can hear you two laughing and giggling, and just a bit of smoke comes out from the bottom of the fucking door. And for her, when Miss Gearliar lets loose, she is very good at retaining her human form. She's had hundreds of years to keep it going, but sometimes she can't help it, and like huge horns spread out of her head, and her skin turns to scales. And
I can't tell if I'm hallucinating from the mushrooms or if it's actually happening at this point. I'm like, yeah.
There's fucking rules, bro.
The one thing I love more than an eggplant burger is a chocolate-covered eggplant burger!
Yeah!
With hot sauce!
Oh god, I love that. Absolutely. Nice and simple. But Reggie knows what he wants, and he wants it then. Right then. He wants to be high all the time. What about...
I'd just like to put this out there. Under fear for Reggie, I've put responsibilities.
You are in the right place. What about lovely Amos?
Amos kind of just watches the rest of the teachers do all their extracurricular activities.
That's what you want to call it.
Yeah. And she will finish up her dinner, and she'll kind of look around, and then I guess she will just go and do some curriculum work, but because she can teleport within the
within the school grounds, yeah, of course.
Yeah, hers is kind of just she just turns into smoke and kind of swells and dissipates, but there's still like the skeletal form of her left behind for just a little bit longer, and then that eventually turns to ash.
I love the concept of just magic being themed to whatever you want. That was the coolest shit.
That's
Hell yeah.
dope.
That was cool. You know what that reminds me of? When Dr. Manhattan has to rebuild himself in the Watchmen,
Yes.
and he has to start from bone to nerves. Like, that's what it looked. Oh, that's fucking cool as hell. If I could reward that some way mechanically, I would.
Groundskeeper Michelson hates it though, because even though it's like the tiniest minute amount, it leaves behind the tiniest bit of ash.
Just those little piles of ash everywhere.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's very faint.
There's
but
definitely
it's
definitely a hard cut to about 6 months earlier where you're at your desk in your office waiting for the next class and we're getting your writing, and there's just a and on the desk is
Drops
just
on
a bag of ash, and he goes, "That's what you've been leaving around.
Oh,
Can you figure it out, please?"
of course. She just goes back and just like sucks it all back in,
Yeah.
and then opens the bag and goes, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Well played. And he takes it back and walks out, smash cut back to where you teleport to go do your curriculum work. Love that. You know, teachers, you grading fucking papers all
That's
the
the
time.
one.
That's the one.
While high, Reggie's just bring A. Not reading any of the papers, just
It's
yeah.
I love these kids, bro.
All
They're
marked
awesome.
upside down.
Yeah, so they've got the paper and it's like A, but then it's that way. It's like,
V.
Yeah, V. Yeah, one of the
For
students.
victory!
V for victory. That's exactly right. There's one of those football meathead kids that's just like, I'm the fucking best, mate. But everyone eventually, you know, finds your way. Evalyn's working. I'm learning the names. Ernest is fucking. He's done his deed and he goes back to his.
He's counting his cash.
He's counting his cash in his private quarters. We know what you're doing, teacher shit. And then you're fucking just high as fuck with another member of faculty. Crazy.
She was the history teacher, right? So I imagine we're in some like deep, conversation about the historical reasons of like leadership and how the government's all like, you know, really
Oh
Yeah.
my
pseudo-intellectual.
god. Yeah, dude.
Like a pseudo-intellectual trying to like communicate with an actual intellectual, like trying to keep up and act like he's trying to act like he knows what he's saying and being real smart.
Yeah,
She
fuck
actually
them. They
understands
were the good guys.
it. Like,
Then don't fuck them. Fuck the other guys.
Fuck them in a good way.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
sensually.
There's definitely a moment where. So, even when she can control her glamour almost subconsciously, she has to put no effort into it. But there's definitely a point where she, let's call it for what it is, definitely becomes a very big scaled muscle mummy. Where the human and the dragon form kind of meet in the middle. And you know, it kind of devolves into where she's like kind of like twirling little bits of your hair on the top and you're starting to feel very...
no, he's not. He's in on it, 100%.
Oh, opposite? Okay. I'll take
Remember
it.
Russell Brand early days?
That's true. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Look, if teachers are fucking on campus, just let it happen. You guys are there for a long fucking time.
I've never been with a dragon before.
I have nothing to say to that.
It's
Cut
Donkey.
away.
It's Donkey off Shrek.
Oh, I'm gonna let you know right now. Gear liar, power top. So you're fucked. You are fucked.
Limping out of her room the next morning.
Yeah, it's like, ow.
Ow. Yeah. Ow.
The body is willing, but the spirit is willing, but the body is weak and spongy.
Very weak body.
So everyone, you know, goes off on their different paths, and you know, we find ourselves wrapping up for the evening. As let me change. Let's change this up a bit. Hell yeah! Now, you all find yourselves resting for the evening or working in this case. Somehow being a teacher and being a bartender on 4 hours sleep. Crazy.
Not even that. My
Here.
head.
Here
Got
is
some potions
what...
to keep you going.
Yeah.
This is what you all don't see.
Look away.
You all find rest in your beds, bellies full from yet another great meal cooked by the kitchen staff. Looking out the window, the gaps in the clouds make way for the luminescent starlight and the moonlight to paint you the most beautiful image as your eyelids become heavy and eventually you will find sleep. But outside the academy walls, outside the purview of your rooms, something sinister chases down a student. Shane Davidson runs, his breath ragged, panting like all the moisture in his throat is gone. His clothes are battered and torn as he turns around a large tree, not reducing his speed in any way. As in, I wonder if, will that allow me to do it? No, I don't think so. I had an effect I wanted to try, we're not going to do it. With a ear-shattering crack and a break. His ankle bends to an unslightly angle as he doesn't accommodate for the roots sticking out of the trees in the ground. His eyes are filled with tears as he runs away from what's chasing him and sees the walls of the school. He gets up and as hard and as fast as he can, he begins to hobble towards the front gate. But too late, his arms and legs are forced into a locked position. He tries to scream, but his throat is torn and ragged from the excessive running and screaming that he did in the woods. His eyes dart frantically as his body is slowly compressed inwards as he feels his joints slowly begin to give out. In his stupor, he almost mistook the cracking sound for that of branches and twigs, but the pain lets him know that his bones and joints are breaking from the pressure. His final gasp feels warm as his own breath bounces back at him as his lungs are forced to expel the last remnants of air as life leaves his eyes. And that's all for this episode of Tomes and Tales, Intonatia's Mystery, and we'll see you in episode 2. Good evening.
Intonatia's Mystery will continue next week.